Alright guys, we're going to take a look at areas of any regular polygon. Area of any regular, and remember, what does that word regular mean again? All the sides are equal. Polygon. All the sides and the angles are equal. Okay, so a couple of things are going to come back into play that we've already discussed. Okay, so basically find the area of hexagon, 6 sides. All right, what you're going to do is I've already done it for you. You're going to split the shape into triangles, and if I can find the area of this triangle here, I can just multiply it by the area of this one. I can just multiply by however many triangles there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so the key thing is to find the area of this one triangle. All right, so we know that the area of any triangle is a half of the base times the height. Okay, so when we're dealing with polygons, the height, all right, is called the apotheum. The height is called the apotheum. All right, that is different from the, I guess what you would call the radius if this was a circle, but that's different from this side right here. Okay, so notice the apotheum makes that 90 degrees with the base, or with this side. All right, so think about it. To get the area of this triangle, because it's a triangle, it's a half times the base, which you can see that the base right now is the side, right? So the area of the triangle is going to be a half times the base, which is the side. So can we just say S? A half of the side times the height, and the height is called the apotheum. All right, the height is called the apotheum. Right, that will give me the area of this one triangle. But to get the area of any of the regular hexagon is you're going to multiply that area times however many triangles there are. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to multiply it by the number of sides. Okay, so once you take that, you're going to multiply it by the number of sides. All right, so the area of any polygon, all right, is, we're going to just use some abbreviated things here, is a half times S, and apotheum is going to be A, and number of sides is going to be N. Okay, now we can shorten this, that will work fine every time, or we can shorten it, because it depends what the question gives you. We can shorten S times N to be, think about it, if I say this side times the number of sides there, what am I really finding? So if I did this, what am I really finding? I'm finding the perimeter of the shape. If I take the number of sides and I multiply it by whatever the value is, so say this was 10, okay, then I'm really finding the perimeter of the shape. I'll say 6 times 10, which is 60, which is the perimeter of the shape. So really, S times N, the sides times the number of sides. So S times N is really going to be the perimeter of the shape. So two formulas that you could look at, a half times the apotheum times, I'm going to say capital P for perimeter. Okay, capital P for perimeter. All right. Once you know that, the questions are rather straightforward. All right, so let's take this one for example. Let's say, actually, let's just say, yeah, right here. All right, if the apotheum is 8.66 and a side, if the apotheum is 8.66 and a side is 18, what is the area of this hexagon? I guess find area of hexagon. Okay, find area of hexagon. So, area of the hexagon, all right, area of the hexagon is a half times the side times the apotheum, which is 8.66, well, I'm just going to write it down, times the number of sides, which is n. All right. Well, it is a hexagon. How many sides does it have? 6. So n is going to be 6. The apotheum is 8.66. The side is 18. And then times a half equals area of hexagon. All right, then just punch in a calculator. 0.5 times 18 times 8.66 times 6. So the area of this hexagon is equal to 467.64. Now, there are a couple of other questions that they could ask you for this. They could ask you find the perimeter. Well, what is the perimeter? Perimeter, remember, is each side by the number of sides. So if one side is 18, then the perimeter is the distance around, so 18 times 6. So the perimeter is 18 times 6, which is equal to 18 times 6, 108. All right. Now, there are a couple of other questions that they could ask you, which is, for example, let's say they wanted you to find this. Let's say this is the radius of the shape. All right. These are the kind of questions they're going to actually ask you in the EOC. Say they wanted to find you the radius of the shape. All right. So let's do a question. In any regular hexagon, now remember, regular means they're all equal. All the sides are equal and the angles are equal. If the apotheum is 8.66, find the radius and one side. All right, so let's ignore that we have any other information. This is the question. If the apotheum is 8.66, find the radius and one side. All right, so what you're going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and just draw. I'm going to draw this triangle here so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to draw this triangle here. All right, now, keep in mind that this makes a circle, so all those angles are going to be what? 360. Well, if the whole thing is 360, what is just one little piece of it? What's this? It's 360 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because all the angles are going to be the same because it's a regular hexagon. So one of these sections is going to be 60. Okay? All right. Here's the apotheum. That's the radius, and this is the side. All right. Now what you're going to have to do actually is you're going to have to use trig again. All right. So what I'm going to do is because I did a perpendicular bisector here, I'm going to cut that angle in half. So really what I'm going to look at is just half of the triangle. So I'll draw another half like this. This is the apotheum, that's the radius. And this now, because I've cut it in half, is half of the side. I'm just going to put half of S, half of the side. All right. Because I cut this angle in half, that's 30. All right, label your triangle. That's going to be O. All right, now what is it? That's going to be H, and that's going to be A. All right, doesn't matter what it is. It just depends what we're finding first. Let's find the radius first. So we're gonna circle H. So I need something with H, and I know the apotheum is 8.66. So I want to use this one too. So Couture. And I need something with H and A because I want to find the radius first and then I'll find the side. All right, so H is cosine. So cosine of the angle, which is 30, equals adjacent, which is 8.66, divided by hypotenuse, which is R. All right, go ahead and cross multiply. So we're going to get R cosine 30 equals 1 times 8.66, 8.66. Divide both sides by cosine 30. Cancels. R is equal to, all right, so 8.66 divided by cosine 30. 9.999999. Okay, So 9.999. So R is approximately 10. Okay. All right, now, since we know R now, I'm going to go ahead and find S. Now, you can use Pythagorean theorem to find S, but just in case I got this one wrong, I'm going to still use trig. So now I want to find O. So now I'm going to use O and A. O and A is tan, so tan of the angle, which is 30, equals opposite, which is a half of S. Shall we just say X for now and do it later? Yeah, let's just, yeah. All right, let me just say X for right now. All right, so tan of 30, I'll come and do this later. Let me just use O for right now, is opposite over adjacent, and adjacent is 8.66. Go ahead and cross multiply. So 8.66 tan 30 equals O, and you just punch that in the calculator. So 8.66 times, I don't even think you have to say times, but I'll say times tan 30 equals O. O is 4.999, which is going to be approximately 5. Well, O is half of S. So if O is half of S, what's the entire S? Well, you have to multiply that by 2. So the side is going to be 5 times 2, which is going to be 10. So R is 10, S is also 10. And that's how they're going to ask the EOC question. They're going to give you something and ask you to find the radius or the apotheum or the area, and this way you've covered everything.